Billy, Jackie, I'm sorry for interrupting, but there's a few things I have to get off my chest right now because I fear if I don't, I'm going to lose my mind. You see, following the weeks after the show ABC, people keep asking, how are you? How do you feel? How did you feel after Drew put you through the table? How's your concussion? How's your back? And you know, at the end of the day, the physical injuries, they're fine. The concussion healed up. My back's okay. I can walk again. But emotionally, I'll be honest, I'm still struggling quite a bit. You see, in life, I don't have many friends, and wrestling I have even less. I've got more enemies than a guy needs. But the one guy I can always trust, the one guy I can always call, the one guy I can ask advice, vent, that guy was one of my best mates. In fact, he was my very best mate, and that guy was Drew Galloway. I've known Drew since I was 15 years old. The first day I showed up at training with 10 pounds in my hand and I says, I'm here to be a professional wrestler. Drew walked in, he taught me the basics, he taught me how to take my first fall, he taught me how to conduct myself, how to be professional, and from that day on, I've always looked up to him. Because he is the best. He was the guy, the only guy who gets signed from Scotland straight to America. He achieved what we wanted, and nobody was more proud than I was to say that my best friend was a WWE superstar. And from that first day of training, I have done nothing but bust my arse to try and make Scottish wrestling bigger, British wrestling bigger, and prove you don't have to be American. You don't have to have the monster behind you to be successful. If you've got heart, you've got passion, and you love what you do, you can achieve anything. And I have done. When I was at school, and I went for my career interview, what do you want to be, a plumber? No. You want to be a joiner? No. Be a lawyer? No. A solicitor? No. Be a bookie? No. Be a librarian? No. Be a teacher? No. Screw that! I want to be a professional wrestler! And that bitch laughed at me. Seriously? You want to be a fuck the teacher! 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 Miss Finley, I hope you're listening to this. And from that day, I remember when I left school, I got my first ever tour, and I stood in Weems Bay Holiday Park in front of 4 folk in a venue so small that I couldn't raise my hands, and I thought, I've made a massive mistake here. And then the next night, I was in Craig Taranere in front of 1,000 folk, screaming, cheering and chanting. I thought, yes, this was the right decision, I've done the right thing, and this is what I want to do forever. And since then, we've got bigger, we've got better, we've got badder. Right now, ICW is making some big noise and the entire world is noticing it. From here to America, Japan, Canada. These 3 letters here have changed my life. I'm pretty sure they've changed some of your lives. People thank me all the time. Thanks for doing what you do, Jack. Thanks for putting yourself through all the pain to entertain us. But the fact of the matter is, if you weren't here and buying tickets, I wouldn't have a job. I couldn't come out here and go through tables, go through barbed wire, go through tacks, set people on fire, rip foreheads open, break my back, knock my teeth out, break my nose. It sounds rubbish, but deep down, I kinda like it. Without you.
Thank you, Jester! Thank you, Jester! Thank you, Jester!
Trust me, you're very, very welcome, and thank you. Now, to get back to my original point, at ABC, it was ICW's biggest show to date. The whole show was fantastic. We had surprises, we had big stars. And I have to admit that one of the highlights of my career was when those lights went out, they came back up, and I saw my best mate stand in the ring with a fire in his eyes I haven't seen in 7 years, because he's not been allowed to step foot in a British wrestling ring, a Scottish wrestling ring, any wrestling ring, except a WWE wrestling ring. And to see him standing there with tears in his eyes, his body covered in goosebumps because he was finally back where he belongs, finally back in Scotland and finally doing something that he loved on his terms, was fantastic. And I'm not ashamed to admit to anyone who's in the front 3 rows of that show could see that I cried my eyes out. Not only because I was happy to see him back, I was proud of what he achieved, but I was there. I was at ICW performing when there was 17 folk in the crowd, and to look around and see that venue packed out, 1,200 folk strong, losing their minds because of something we created, made me proud more than I could even tell you. That feeling didn't last too long, because about 3 minutes later, I was lying on the floor through 2 tables. My left leg had gone numb, and I was struggling to see with a concussion, but I could hear perfectly well. And Drew was in the ring. He was talking, he was getting his point across, how he's the Messiah, he is the business. And I heard every single person cheering and hanging on to every word he said. And I'd lie if I didn't say, you know, I hurt my feelings just a bit, because I watched the footage back and the camera was locked on him. I was lying on the floor, there was nothing on me, and I don't blame you. Because I know how special it was when he came back. I know how big it was to see a guy like that back in the ring, and I was happy to see him. But what he was saying didn't just annoy me, it upset me. Because he was there saying he was back to take ICW to the next level. He was back to get us back on TV. Because we all need Drew, right? It's not what we're doing. You're doing quite well, thank you, big man. If you want to come back and be the man, come back and prove yourself, because your name, your status, where you worked before, who you've wrestled, where you've wrestled, how many folk you've wrestled in front of, doesn't mean a thing when you come to ICW, because people come here to prove themselves, bust their ass, kick their balls, put themselves through hell to prove that they love what they do, and they will stop at nothing to achieve their dreams, and I'm one of those guys. And through hard work, through determination, through all the pain, through all the bad times, all the crap houses, 17 folk, we'll get 50 folk in. This is amazing, we've got 100 folk in. This is amazing. How can it get any better? Now, we're selling at the biggest venues in Britain. We're doing it every single month. We'll do it on a Sunday. And every one of you guys come here and chant and cheer and show support every single week. And it's nothing to do with you, Drew. Nothing. If you want to come back and be part of the big scene, I welcome you back. But if you think you're going to come back, walk straight in and take this off of me. You've got another thing coming. Because this might just be a pile of leather and gold. But for me, it personifies everything I've ever done. It personifies every hospital visit, every scar, every tooth that I've lost. You see, I'm the guy, Drew, that at high school would knock back house parties full of hot chicks because I had to get sleep for training in the morning. I was the guy who stood up his prom date because I took a last minute booking to wrestle in front of 30 folk just to get that little bit more experience. Yeah. I'm the guy who's lost friends, who's lost family. I'm the guy who's lost every girlfriend he ever had because regardless of how hard they try, they were never more important than my dream, and I could never love them more than I loved my job. So this thing here, when I look at it, I see everything that I've ever done. You might just see it as something you want, but I have it, and there's no chance you're taking it off me. So while you're in Tampa, Florida, living the life, sunbathing, swimming in your private pool, every time you lie back, close your eyes to top up your tan, I want you to see my face, Drew. Because the next time I see you face to face, I don't know what's going to happen. You see, I've never wrestled you. I've never stood in the ring and faced you man to man. And to be quite honest, when that day comes, I'm scared to wrestle you. And it's not because I'm frightened of you. It's not because you're taller than me, because you're bigger than me, because you're more handsome than me. It's because I can't guarantee that I'll know when to stop. I can't guarantee that I won't take things too far. And I can't guarantee that you'll make the flight back to Tampa. Because my goal is to get my hands on you and not only break your hand. I know you took about 8 months out and you broke your hand, Drew. And funny enough, I was the guy that you phoned when you were depressed because you couldn't train. You weren't getting TV time. People are getting my spot. And I was there saying, you know, it could be worse. You're wrestling in Madison Square Garden. Tomorrow night, I'm wrestling in Greenock Town Hall in front of 34 folk. Do you want to swap jobs? They might just be right, Drew. I don't want to be known as the guy who did kill his best mate. But if it comes to that, you know what I'm capable of. You've seen what I do to folk for no reason. Last week I came out here and I lashed a guy in the back who did not deserve it. And I'm going to give him some credit. That guy was DCT. He took a beating like a man. He got backstage. He didn't moan. He didn't complain. He just went, got himself cleaned up and left the building. But I did that not to hurt him, but to send a message to you, Drew. Because right now, this isn't Jack Jester talking to the chosen one. This is Lee Gregg talking to Drew Galloway. And you say you want the world to know you're coming and you're bringing hell with you. Well, I'm telling you, I'm coming for you. Not only am I bringing hell with me, I'm bringing a corkscrew shinier than your smile. And I'm bringing a heart bigger than your ego.